Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave, where the facelessness continues as I'm still away from my traditional battle station. However, just a few more days here as I enjoy the great north of Finland. I'm absolutely loving it out here. Had a great day snowboarding, had a great day with my girlfriend, had a great day just out here experiencing the wilderness and nature and enjoying all that Finland has to offer. Anyways, less about me and more about magic internet monies, because that's probably what you care about more. And let's get into the Krown Chain application over here, which can be found at app.krownchain.net. It is 100% free, so take advantage of it. Go get your free account, or don't. Do whatever the fuck you want to do with your life. And with that said, let's take a look at what the dashboard is offering us today. So with that said, what do we have over here? Bitcoin dominance still hanging around that 60 to 61.5% region, of which we did see it actually bounce quite significantly from yesterday to today, it looks like, although I wasn't necessarily keeping the most keen eye on charts yesterday. But more importantly with that, that does play into the narrative of rotational markets going on right now, as we finally have seen Bitcoin take a little bit of a leg up, joining the rest of the party, which has been led mostly by Ethereum and some of the major altcoins, especially in the DeFi market as well. So with that in mind, as Bitcoin does get prepared to test the top side of its range here, hitting our $40,000 target from yesterday about, I would be looking at that as an indication that if Bitcoin does get moving, especially above that region, entering into another breakout territory, well, I'd be looking at that as an indication that most alts going to be having not the best time versus their Bitcoin Satoshi pairing, probably a very good time versus their US dollar pairing, but seeing as Bitcoin is potentially looking at a breakout outside of this range now, it does seem like this is maybe a little bit less of an altcoin party for the potential short-term future. And with that said, we just want to be following up on that. Of course, Bitcoin has not officially broken out just yet, but it is a topic of conversation now that it is once again at the top side of the range. Anyways, with that, exactly as predicted, motherfucker. I fucking hate that shit. Sorry, if you're new here, understand that usually my video titles are usually absolute nonsense. They have very little to do with the content. And also, I like to take a bit of piss on this, or what is it? What is that saying? I'm taking a piss. Yes, that's right. I will be taking a piss today on, I don't know, whatever the fuck, man. Anyways, what about the global derivative market over here? Yes, okay, excellent. So we do see open interest coming up. And more importantly with this, we have seen it steadily rise about $1.5 billion from the bottom side of the range at $4.5 billion, now just around $6 billion, as you can see right now, with Bitcoin, again, rallying off the $30,000 range, once again at the top side of the $40,000 range. This does play in the narrative that I have been having for the last month and a half now, that Bitcoin is in a zone of reaccumulation. This is not distribution. The party ain't over just yet. And I know it sounds fucking crazy. It sounds very much is a guilty pleasure for myself, and I'm sure many others out there, perhaps even you, or perhaps probably you, especially if you're tuning into this content, I'd imagine. So with that in mind, I would be looking at this as a very good indication that this is still a healthy market as it stands right now. Of course, at some point, the chickens will come home to roost, and the chicken and the egg and all that good stuff will start exploding all over the place, but for now, looking still okay, I suppose. Anyways, moving on, what else do we have here? Like I said, I'm not at my main battle station, so it's a little bit hard to maneuver around my own application, but my trackpad is good enough to handle it for now. By the way, you'll notice that this is completely new right here. We just added this in the last day. This is due to requests, which we are more than happy to field from anyone out there. If you're in the program or if you're in the members Discord, definitely just post whatever sort of things that you might want to see on the application in the Krown Trading application channel there. And if not, then just leaving comments around is completely fine, as we do check all of that as well. Anyways, with that said, now we have a price action chart overlaid with an open interest rate, overlaid with the just the interest rate chart over here. So with that in mind, you can kind of line up all these things together, and most importantly with this, you can very much verify yourself that price action, obviously testing towards the top side of the range with increasing open interest alongside volume starting to pick up as well, would suggest, yes, again, this is reaccumulation within this area, and looking good. So confirming this from multiple angles now. Confluence, as always, is the best, this is the best thing that you really want. And we do see that the Fear and Greed Index also popping up a little bit here too, although not as important as what I want to show down here. Where is it? Where are you? I see you. Does anyone have a key grip? Yes, there it is. All right, nice one. Okay, Bitcoin funding rate per exchange. Yes, that's what we want to be seeing right now. And FTX still way the fuck out there at 0.139%. So it is a little bit of, it certainly is an outlier right now, but just on its own above that threshold of 0.1% region, as you can see right here. Again, another user requested feature, which we are happy to provide. shows that it's the only one out there right now. I really want to see 3+ exchanges get above that region for preferably 48 to maybe even 72 hours at a time in order to really denote like the next major top, maybe even macro top. Was they will likely be one and the same at some point, but for now, still fine. And I look at this as more or less healthy, at least in the short term. So with that in mind, I think it's time to go over and check out our actual charts. Let's start off with our long-term charts over here first and foremost. We'll do a bit of a deep dive on Ethereum again today, but as I said, I am away from my main station, so I won't be doing like super in-depth analysis today. Mostly just be focusing on daily and weekly closures here. All right, so with that said, starting off with Ethereum, yes, we did see yesterday's closure once again above the topside Krown band, so that does set in the bias coming into today that I would be looking for either a recess as a prior all-time high or very likely the new all-time highs, very likely within these next couple days here. And still the proverbial targets up towards basically the $2,000 region are very much in line, as we have gotten both the breakout out of this ascending triangle formation right here. The measure move on this one has already been hit alongside our first fib extension right there at the 2 spot, just above 1700. But ultimately, as I said, about a month ago, very unlikely that we actually do see reversal from this region. I'd really be looking for a full-on move somewhere around the 618, most likely here, especially in this stronger trending market. Now, there is one counterpoint to what I'm saying right now, and that is that the volume signature on this would not be indicative of a breakout. However, I would at the same time say, one, this is a weekend right now. It is technically Saturday, so I wouldn't necessarily be looking for breakout volume to happen on a day like today, just because less people are trading. If it does happen, it's probably going to be on Monday, if that. And with that said, while not necessarily perfect, picture perfect that is for this breakout, I would not treat it as a fake out, meaning that this is all going to be undone and we go back down to the crypto abyss until Ethereum does something very specific here, and it would be this. I'd want to see it break back down below the breakout point. Now in this case, would I be looking for a closure or a wick? On this case, probably a wick would be fine, just because, well, this is, I think it'd be better to err on the side of caution here, and that would be somewhere around the 272 extension, right around 1475-ish region is where I'd be looking for. So essentially, as long as Ethereum's above there, I treat the breakout as if it's real. I go with the direction of the trend and pattern formation and Fibonacci extensions and momentum as well, of which we do see that the daily MACD is still in the same direction as the breakout here too. Now we are kind of in a precarious place right now, because you can see that if this breakout really starts to, does not pick it up, pretty much, I would say over these next 48 hours until the end of the weekend, or basically Monday, then momentum will start to wane a little bit. But as it is right now, would be suggesting that if you are looking for this to essentially continue, we want to see continuation, well, relatively shortly. So I'd say another couple days here. Funnily enough, that does align perfectly with Ethereum's big event on Monday, which is its CME future debut. Now, before I get into that, let's actually just make sure that I'm recording, that the microphone's working. Hey, it is. All right, that's really good, because that would fucking suck if it didn't. Anyways, DMI ADX. Again, I'm not really seeing what I want to see here just yet. DMI Plus is technically dominant, but it is not increasing its curvature. It does not even have a positive slope right now. Yes, the ADX is actually increasing itself, so we have one of two, but I really want to see both those things going in the same direction. Obviously, the MACD already having a bullish cross, while price action does trend above the topside Krown band. That's usually good enough for me anyways, but I'd really like to see everything kind of moving with each other, and that's when I imagine we'll see that big old girthy green dildo in all of our faces. That is going to be oh so nice to suck down and around on, and I imagine that comes along with price action reaching towards the $2,000 level. So again, I still have the bias with Ethereum that it does just generally float up here, number go up, so to speak, anywhere between about $1,900 and $2,000 is where I'd be looking towards, and I'd be looking for a little bit of a consolidation around those levels. And then could we target levels higher than that over time? Yeah, absolutely. I'll show a few right here, but ultimately I want to see one thing before the next, of course. So with that in mind, as long as Ethereum is doing this, once again, I do have a bullish bias, and I am just generally looking for, in this case, new all-time highs, because it's already at new all-time highs. Do you have any water here? Motherfucker, no water. All right, I'm fucked. All right, well, let's go on into Bitcoin then. Or sorry, actually, before we go into the Bitcoin, let's go over here to our main chart. So I actually want to show a couple different, oh, nice, my L screen is going to, it's going to get some water. Sweet. I actually want to show a couple of new indicators right here. Now, the reason, or they're not necessarily new, but new as far as what I show on stream here. And this is actually going to be essentially a stochastic momentum index with reverse functions on it, as well as Caretakers just cooked one up. Absolutely fucking lovely. And the reason why I want to use this one is for a very specific purpose, and it's in these strong trending markets where this is actually going to be a lot, or actually going to work a little bit better than your regular stochastic. The reason being because it is, well, how to explain this? It's going to be less forgiving for more, it's going to be less forgiving for signals, which also means, though, that when you get a counter trend signal, it's not going to be as strong. So if you're going to be using this indicator, which will probably be posted publicly relatively soon, we need to work out some kinks, I imagine. But what you want to be doing with this indicator, which is incredibly important, is you only take signals on the same side of the general trend. So in this case right here, you can see, well, I mean, the downward signals, they technically do work out, to be fair, but I wouldn't say that this is like, the main way to be using something like this. So most importantly, we did get a bullish signal right here at on February 1st, actually, on the turn of the month. And with that, we did see actually the breakout, well, pretty much the next day, actually, or sorry, about the next day, actually. So it did precipitate that, and I do like that. And it also has a histogram on it as well, so it kind of can help with waning and increasing momentum and kind of judging that. So for right now, again, still does look pretty damn good, but as you can see, momentum will remain to the upside as long as we're above about 1300. So it's got a lot of space here, and that actually would be even below the breakout points. So you'll probably even know before then if things are really under pressure. As far as daily RSI goes, are we still playing out that hidden bullish divergence? I would say so, yes, especially as we get back into the bullish control zone right here. I look at that as some good basing action, and again, still does provide the buys of some more upside here. Lower term time frames, do we see everything on the same side? I'm curious. No, actually. Okay, so if we are using this the stochastic momentum index, we actually need to see price action get back above 1787. So what would that imply? New highs, actually. So what is this saying? It's saying that, hey, if you're looking for this trend to continue, then basically, you want to see that happen pretty much within these next 24 to 48 hours, let's say. So with all of that in mind, this is essentially suggesting that if you are going to be bullish on Ethereum, if you are looking for this breakout to continue, then it continues now. Otherwise, that is going to be a bit of a red flag. So essentially, if you don't see continuation within about that time frame, then naturally speaking, we will probably see a bit of a fake out. But at first, again, err on the side of the trend here. Same thing on 4-hour RSI, looking more or less fine there. And let's just see if all the lower term timeframes are in unison right here. Yeah, 3-hour is as well. Same areas you can see. Bi-hourly is as well. A little bit higher, a little bit higher, but still putting in higher lows right here and potentially hidden bullish divergence. Let's see, will it actually count that? Yeah, it hasn't counted this as a low just yet. I would go as far as saying that this, well, yeah, technically this is not confirmed as a low just yet. It will confirm as a low with any sort of a closure above 1685, and then you will see hidden bullish divergence right here, and that will initiate a target back up to the prior high of about 1735 to 1740-ish region. That actually be the next signal that I'd be looking for. That could happen the soonest. That would produce an actual nice edge for a trade here. All right, now they got some water. Let me just take a sippy sip of this. Good sippy sips. Oh, the water in Lapland, I think, is even better than the one in Helsinki. In fact, gotta love Finland, man. Gotta love Finland. Anyways, hourly, what do we see over here? Same sort of thing going on, actually. This one already has confirmed its hidden bullish divergence, so obviously you want to see the lower term time frames confirmed before, what would be a relatively higher term time frame. In this case, yes, this one's already confirmed. I'd be looking for a target probably back up towards or north of $1,700. So all of that looks all well and good for right now, and we can move on into some Bitcoin action. If I'd have called it, so again, kind of wrapping up my thoughts on Ethereum. I'm bullish, basically looking for this pop back up to the tops of the range and continue onwards and upwards. The only way that I get bearish on Ethereum is what we spoke about earlier, and that is obviously contained towards the higher term timeframes, daily and above. Anyways, back on to Bitcoin. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing right now, because I think this one's a little bit more interesting right now. Has pretty much hit our target yesterday at about $40,000. So I would say that is exactly as predicted, exactly as fucking perturbed. I absolutely hate that. Sorry. I need to explain it for people who are new here. Look, I don't think that you can predict anything in trading or technical analysis. Been doing this for over 10 years now, and I mean, you can have biases, you can have statistics, you can have probabilities. You can't have certainties. That I can absolutely fucking tell you. So anytime that you talk about exactly as I predicted, it's like, okay, what the fuck? That's an interesting edge there you got there. Wonder how long that works out for. Anyways, again, not really trying to shit talk anyone out there in the cryptocurrency landscape. For the most part, most of these guys are my friends actually, but I do think it is rather funny, especially along with the fucking O face thumbnail bullshit too, which is just, I mean, like everyone like has to know that it's like a meme or a caricature of themselves. So fair enough, you got to play the game, I guess, if you want to be a part of the game. And in this case, looking at Bitcoin on the daily here, we are actually in a posture for a breakout here as well as far as Trollinger bands go. We have the same sort of setup as we did see on Ethereum. Of course, Bitcoin a little bit slower here, a little bit of a laggard, as we do see this rotational market pick up Bitcoin, I guess, in the next wave. And as you can see, it will have a chance to close above the topside Trollinger band today at 7 p.m. Eastern time with any sort of a closure above 39,336 3/4. If that happens, if that condition is met, or I'd even go as far as saying any closure above 39,000, whatever the fuck this high is right here, 39,135, any sort of a closure above there, I would confirm that as a breakout. In fact, I would even go as far as saying that I already look at this as a breakout by taking out the last Elon moon sky pump right here. I do actually think that this is one of the times where I'd feel comfortable being aggressive. Although for full disclosure, I'm already long from lower, long below, I think it was $33,500. So I am talking my book right now, and maybe I should just focus on the actual price actions rather than my own positions. Anyways, with that said, this is also accompanied by what we spoke about yesterday, DMI plus dominant, more importantly, retaining, or sorry, not just retaining, but getting a positive slope while the ADX is right at the fucking threshold right there. That's a very good signal. MACD crossing to the upside alongside price action breaking out of that prior short-term resistance at 34,500. That set in our earlier buys for a move towards $40,000. Obviously, first up at 37,500, exactly as per derped. And this is also accompanied by obviously what I wanted to focus on. Typically at the beginning of these videos, I'll probably stop talking about this after this video just because, well, I mean, it's already 6 days into February and I don't want to talk about this every goddamn day, but the monthly obviously trending above the topside Trollinger band for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth month in a row. And we do see that monthly accumulation distribution indicator retains its positive slope. That aligned with the MACD histogram on the monthly have both been almost perfect, I would say, in calling all of the macro moves in Bitcoin. Now, it's not going to be like to the fucking dollar, although sometimes it is. But anytime that we see both these shift in the same side, and for the accumulation distribution indicator, all I care about is slope here, plus MACD histogram. All I care about is whether it's increasing or decreasing. And in this case, we're still increasing on MACD histogram, and on accumulation distribution indicator, positive slope is retained here as well. So both of those things align with each other while trending above the topside Trollinger band. Am I basically bullish for the month of February? Yes. Do I think that Bitcoin makes new all-time highs here? Yes. Do I think that Bitcoin's probably going to work its way towards 50 or 60,000? Yes, probably. I'll fucking say it, man. I'll fucking say it now. How about that? Elsa says I'm a moon boy, if you can't hear that. That's right, get on my moon, baby. I'll show you what Jupiter is all about, bitch. Anyways, okay, so I love my girlfriend, and she's giving me the look right now. She wants it. Anyways, looking at DMI, ADX, what do we see? DMI plus still very much dominant, ADX still strengthening, fine there as well. So this speaks towards the macro, obviously, and that, yes, that does essentially make me bullish. Spoiled surprise. Yeah, I think Bitcoin's fucking going up here. Number go up, as they say. We already spoke about the daily. Is there anything else that I want to speak about here? No. So what happens if Bitcoin closes above this level right here, or just anywhere above 39,150? Well, let's go look at our targets on my other charts over here, and let's see where the next ones would be, as that would initiate targets a little bit higher here. Let me just throw on my drawing tools, and man, I gotta tell you, using a trackpad instead of a mouse is just, it's cancer is what it is. Or sorry, not to disparage people dealing with actual cancer out there, but Jesus Christ, man, it's really awful. I fucking hate this thing. Anyways, jokes on me for not, packing a mouse. Anyways, okay, so cool. Yes, if Bitcoin were to, officially break out, although I'd even go as far as saying it's already broken out, really. Then next target would be between the 272 and the 414 right here. So that's about just below $44,000 and just above $45,000 in a range. I would be looking for a bit of a range to transpire around these regions. Now, this is actually the this next part is actually very important. If Bitcoin were to get there, or just in general for any asset actually, Well, technically speaking, there would be, targets higher, and traditionally speaking, yes, the breakout would, have measured moves higher. I mean, just looking at this right here, this is obviously reaccumulation. We could make a measured move, pointed north, and I'd imagine it'd be somewhere in the $50,000 region. This would be your traditional trappy area. And granted, how Ethereum's volume is not really indicative of a breakout just yet, I do think that that is very much possible to occur. Now, in this region right here, what you typically see is like a quick spike up into the 414, backs off almost immediately and closes below the 272. If you see that, that's going to be your first warning signal, but it's not confirmation of a trap just yet. Trap confirmation is back down below this level right here, which would be like 40,750-ish region. So of course, it's not necessarily my main idea, but I do want to overlay conditions for a potential trap if it were to occur, because in this case, well, Ethereum is still questionable here, although I still do favor the upside. Anyways, with that said, while we're on the daily, let's see what momentum oscillators are suggesting right now. Momentum index is showing what? Showing upside so much above 22,675. Obviously, that's not very helpful because, I mean, it is helpful. It just means that momentum remains the upside, barring almost $20,000 catastrophic dump today. Not very likely. I mean, we've all seen crazy things, but I actually have not seen a $20,000 dump in one day for like legitimate price action sustained on closing basis. I'll just say that. Now, that again, every time I've thought that something that's like virtually impossible, oh baby, it fucking happens. It's almost as if it's like programmed into the market. But anyways, as far as the momentum index goes right here, it looks fine. And as far as daily RSI goes here, I think that this is a phenomenal read. Back into the bullish control zone as we spoke about yesterday, exactly as per derped once again. Hate that. And I would be looking for this to make a run into the deeper bullish control zone, going all the way back to let's see, April 2019. This is a very constructive read right here, and I do like the higher lows on our RSI lows right here. In fact, you can even make a trend line going back to, I believe this would be coronavirus dump lows. Yeah, that's your March lows right there, and boom, what do you know, getting all of the major lows within that same trend. So I do like this, and that was a major opportunity at the $30,000 level, which is why we were saying that is essentially, or sorry, first and foremost, reaccumulation and an opportunity. And so far, so good. Now, is there any way that I get bearish on Bitcoin? Well, first things first, I'd need to get short-term bearish and medium-term bearish, which would happen below 34,500. Or sorry, short-term bearish would be below this pivot right here, 37,500. That would initiate a move back down towards the 34,500 level down here. This would switch me into a medium-term bear if this level would be broken, and that would initiate a move likely down wherever the 55 is at that point. Now, I don't get long-term bearish looking for a move down of like 23 to 24,000 bucks until this area is broken right here, either closing on new lows below our current low on the 20th of January, or closure below the 55, which is crawling its way up above 31,000 bucks right now. Now, ultimately, I mean, I don't really think that's going to happen, but obviously, again, conditions need to be laid out in order to know, and that's not going to be, the main source of call. Also, from a moving average perspective, very good right here. 10 simple crossing upside of the 21. I believe I spoke about this strategy. Very simple strategy to get, long-term moves for the most part on the daily, specifically in the anticipating moving average cross video. Again, you can find that you can find the indicator on TradingView for free, and you can also find the video on YouTube for, well, free as well, because it's fucking YouTube. Anyways, yes, as these get more and more divergence away from each other, that is, well, more or less good, and I would be looking for price action to just continue upwards and onwards. Everything looking good from a moving average perspective, from a momentum oscillator perspective, and from a general trend and formation perspective. So, no matter which method you're using right now, it does look well, fine by me, I suppose. Anyways, into the lower term time frame we go. Let's see what's going on right here. Okay, this is very, very important right here. Actually, with the stochastic momentum index, we do see that's having a fresh cross the upside right here. I think this was not the last close, but the one prior to that, yes indeed, as price action did break through the short-term resistance at 37,500. Very, 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 very important things to kind of reflect upon right there, because we're seeing momentum turn up as a short-term resistance is broken, and I mean, this is all supported by RSI as well, playing on hidden bullish divergence. So all these things combined with each other, am I bullish in the immediate sense? Well, yes, actually I am. What about the 3 hour right here? Same thing, showing about the same levels as well. Will remain to the upside as long as above 36,500. Good, coming from the same area, I should say. Also, bi-hourly 36,900. Awesome. So we're seeing it all so far on the same side, and hourly same thing, as long as above 38,000 bucks. So all of that looks all well and good for further continuation on in the short term, actually. And RSI kind of further confirming that as well, playing out hidden bullish divergence here, playing out hidden bullish divergence, I believe, on the bi-hourly and on the triple hourly, and as we just saw on the 4-hour as well. All of that is good, and I would be looking for Bitcoin to very likely test officially into the $40,000 region, anywhere between about 40 and 41,000 bucks, and then maybe play out a short-term pullback from there once again, and set it up for a potential breakout coming in early to next week, or maybe even tomorrow on Sunday. I don't think that happens today on Saturday, but I don't know. I mean, then again, we have seen moves on Saturdays as of recent times, especially within the direction of the macro trend. So is it possible? Yes. Technically speaking, it actually has been a bit of a trend for the last few months. So I suppose very likely could happen. Anyways, moving on the 12-hour over here, very fucking good. Really like this one. 12-hour RSI back in the bullish control zone. Very obvious reaccumulation signature down here. 12-hour Stochastic index. What do we see? Same shit. Very fucking good read here as well as it gets above the 0 read too. I mean, this is all rather healthy, no matter which way that I cut it here. So I'm trying to find bearish things. I think my most relevant case for maybe some short-term bearishness would be Ethereum, but even then, it's like I'm really kind of picking at needles and straws here. For the most part, I would just be generally bullish. What about 2-day and 3-day? Anything of interest here? Yes. Okay, so this is a big one for me, the 2-day. Now remember, the Stochastic index is going to speak towards more trending markets, and in this case right here, if we do see this next cross the upside, which will happen admittedly above 42,100, so it's not happening today, not happening tomorrow, or I mean, well, technically speaking, it's not even closing today, it's closing tomorrow, so yeah, it's not going to work out like that. But this is a very, very strong read for an actual breakout, not just to the prior high in this case, playing out the hidden bullish divergence on the 2-day, which is also present as well. It would be essentially implying much higher prices. So when we put back on, hey motherfuckers, show it to me. There we go. When we put back on our extensions right here, I would be looking at basically the $45,000 level. But that, based off of a two-day signal like that, I would say that's very unlikely to be actual top. What you really be looking at is, as I pull this down right here, is you'd be looking at the 618 and the 414 up above, and that's going to be in the deeper $50,000 region. So, do I think that Bitcoin's going to go to $50,000 plus in the next few months? I think it's rather likely, but at the end of the day, of course, everything has points of failure. So this is a game of statistics, and while I do like them in the upside favor right now, I would be saying at the same time that have those points of have those failure points in mind, just because, well, nothing's guaranteed. 3-day, what do we see right here? Same sort of thing, essentially. Playing out 3-day hidden bullish evidence as well, back in the bullish control zone. All very good shit. So I like it. I like it a lot. What about the weekly? Anything of particular interest right here? No, not really. Not really. We actually even took out last week's high already too, so pretty damn good. Now, do I want to make this video any longer? It's already 27 minutes long. You know what? I think I will start to shut it down here. I won't go over retracements just because we've done that a million goddamn times. How did traditional markets close out on Friday? Oh, what do you know, on a bullish engulfing dildo for NASDAQ. New all-time highs coming in next week. Crazy. Where'd my next targets be? Let's see. Let us see. 13,825. NASDAQ. Not fucking stopping. There you go. Wow, SPY futures are even more impressive. A bearish engulfing dildo trends into a bullish engulfing dildo. I mean, this thing's gonna go to 4,000 plus. That's insane. That's fucking insane. I have to be bullish for new all-time highs on stock market coming into next week. Nasdaq and SPY futures specifically. Now, obviously not the whole market, but the strong ones will get picked up here. Did gold come down to my targets? I think it did. Ooh, it did. Hey, sometimes that TA bullshit, sometimes it actually works, doesn't it? 1785 right there, bouncing off that level. I have no opinion on this coming into next week. It doesn't look too good here on the lows, to be fair, but I'd give it a chance to bounce up a little bit more above 1835, or sorry, above, hold on, what is this level right here? Sorry, above 1830, I would be short-term bullish once again, but I don't really have any calls to make after that for now. I think that this one is, it's not the picture of health and fitness right now, but it's also not a deathly picture either just yet. I'd give it a chance to bounce off the 55 at least for another week or two before declaring death to Peter Schiff. Sorry, Peter Schiff, but your gold bars, they apparently no one fucking wants them. So it's manipulation, or maybe just people don't fucking want them. But sir, don't you know when the nuclear apocalypse happens, everyone's going to want these gold bars to trade shit with? Oh, really? They're not going to want food, water, and like ammunition for guns to protect themselves? No, they want gold, sir. That's fucking weird. Must be those aliens at it again, trying to build pyramids and shit. All right, so I think that's enough for me, man. I'm already talking bullshit. I do want to see how CMEs close out the week. All right, very important here. Weekly close. Yep, weekly close. Very fucking good. Very, very, very fucking good. What about daily right here? Not super impressive, but fine. Sets it up nicely for next week. Daily Stokes having a nice fresh cross the upside. Daily R side playing out the hidden bullish divergence as well. Yeah, I do still favor the upside here. Although CMEs do make me think that we could very easily see another move back down to like 34.5 or $35,000. So fair enough. Keep an eye out for that because CMEs are a little bit less conclusive here. Okay, all right. So do we want to start off with Ethereum first? I think it's just the easier chart to follow right now, just because, it's quite literally trending on all fronts. Where are you? There you are. Found you. Do we even want to do a wrap-up right now? Do we even need to do a wrap-up? No, I don't think that we do need to do a wrap-up. Yeah, so I think I'll just actually leave it off right there. Spoon Boys, sorry today, but no little wrap-up. I'll leave it off like that. I want to wish you the best and the happiest. I am going to go enjoy myself. That also reminds me to remind you that while I am out here away from my main battle station, I'm doing my best to get back to all of the to back all of the comments and questions and private messages that I can. It's a little bit more difficult with my connection to the internet right now. So if all else fails, I promise I will get back to you first thing when I get back home early next week. But for the time being, I will still do my best. Just there are certain things that I just cannot do out here. So with that in mind, wishing you the best once again from a very cold but very lovely and gorgeous northern Finland. Take care and until next time.